All right, folks, I'm Logan Allec. I'm a CPA. In this video, I want to talk about the taxability of credit card rewards. Credit card rewards are great, but do you have to pay taxes on them? The answer is generally no. And that's where a lot of people stop at this question, but there's actually a little bit more to it because credit card rewards can certainly have a tax effect in certain situations, and it even differs between cashback versus travel versus sign-up bonuses. Now, the tax effect of credit card rewards is a very important question because if credit card rewards have a negative tax effect on somebody, right, this could reduce their value by 10 to 30% for the average American taxpayer. And those in high tax brackets for both federal and state purposes could see a reduction in value of upwards of 50%. But let's back up here. Okay. Whenever the question comes up of whether or not something is taxable, the real question is whether or not that item constitutes income in the eyes of the IRS. It's no different with credit card rewards. If they are in fact income, they are taxable insofar as they are not specifically excluded by some section of the tax code. If they're not income, they're not taxable. Now, the tricky thing is that Congress never quite defined income. It defined gross income as all income from whatever source derived. Okay, duh. But of course, one still has to answer the question, what is income, right? Now, to set the framework of whether or not credit card rewards are in fact income, we actually have to go back to 1976, which was before credit card rewards programs even existed. In that year, the IRS produced Revenue Ruling 76-96 concerning the taxability of rebates. In the specific case, the IRS was considering an automobile manufacturer provided rebates to qualifying retail customers who purchased or leased a new car, while the IRS held that rebates or discounts on purchases are not income, but are rather a mere reduction of the purchase price. So keep that in mind. Now let's go over 30 years later to IRS Private Letter Ruling 2010-27015, in which the IRS addressed the specific issue of cashback credit card benefits. In this private letter ruling from 2010, the IRS referenced the old revenue ruling concerning rebates, Revenue Ruling 76-96 that I went over previously, and specifically stated that, similar to rebates, cashback credit card benefits are treated as discounts and not as taxable income. So while taxpayers don't have to report that a cashback is income, they do have to reduce their tax basis in an asset purchase with the cashback card by the amount of cashback earned on the purchase. Now, this doesn't really have any significant ramifications for personal purposes, but as I will get to later in this video, it does have ramifications for business. Okay, so that's cashback rewards, not income, but if you purchase an asset with a cashback card and get cash back on that purchase, you have to reduce your basis in that asset by the amount of cashback you received, which could have business ramifications, as I will discuss later. Now, let's push the pause button on cashback and talk about travel rewards. Throughout the 1990s, there was a lot of turmoil among frequent flyers that the IRS would tax their airline miles. People who traveled, on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, using points for all their flights and travel expenses, they were afraid that they would have a substantial tax bill for the value of these rewards without having the cash to pay the taxes. However, 2002, the IRS finally put an end to these questions in Announcement 2002-18, in which the IRS said that taxpayers do not have to include frequent flyer miles earned from business travel in their taxable income. Now let's take another detour before we talk about businesses and credit card rewards and talk briefly about sign-up bonuses. Are credit card sign-up bonuses taxable? The answer is it depends. And I hate it when professionals, whether they're tax professionals or lawyers or search engine optimization professionals, you ask them a question, they say,
well, it depends.
And they leave it at that. It's like, okay, buddy, tell me what it depends on, or else I'm just going to assume that you have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm not going to leave it at it depends. Though the taxability of credit card sign-up bonuses certainly does depend. But it specifically depends on whether or not there's a spending requirement to receive the bonus. So if a sign-up bonus is tied to a certain spending threshold, then the bonus is essentially treated the same as cashback rewards. They're not taxable income, but rather a reduction in the purchase price of the items you purchase. For example, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, link in the description, by the way, is currently offering 60,000 bonus points worth approximately $750 in travel rewards when redeemed through Chase if you spend $4,000 on the card within the first 3 months of opening your account. This bonus would not be considered taxable income because it's contingent on a certain amount of spending on the card. And this is how the vast majority of credit card sign-up bonuses work. So therefore, the vast majority of credit card sign-up bonuses are not taxable. But what if you received a reward from your credit card company simply for signing up for the credit card? without ever having to use it. In this case, which is quite rare, mind you, the sign-up bonus would be considered a taxable bonus by the IRS rather than a purchase price discount because there was no purchase in the first place. In this case, the credit card company may very well issue you a Form 1099 for your earnings, but even if they don't, you should still report this income on your tax return in that case. However, sign-up bonuses like that on credit cards are exceedingly rare. All right, so thus far we settled the question of taxes and cashback credit cards, at least for personal use. We've covered the question of taxes and travel credit card rewards, and we've covered the question of taxes and sign-up bonuses. Now, I'm going to talk about business credit card rewards and taxes, okay? Business credit cards often offer massive sign-up bonuses and outsized rewards on business spending because business owners often have significantly more expenses the W-2 employees. And the treatment of cash back, travel rewards, and sign-up bonuses for business cards is truly no different from the treatment for personal cards. However, since you can deduct business purchases, it pays to be strategic when racking up and redeeming rewards using business credit cards. Remember how we previously established that credit card cashback is considered a purchase discount rather than taxable income? Well, it doesn't really have any impact for personal purposes, right? But this certainly matters for business purposes since you must deduct any discounts, rebates, or points earned from the purchase price of a good or service in determining the deductible or capitalizable amount for the expense. So in doing your books, you should be recording the discounted after cashback rewards costs for expenses and assets. Another tax impact to consider is when a business uses points for work travel, right? Unfortunately, if a business uses points to pay for an airline stay or a hotel stay for employees or the business owner, the company is not allowed to take the equivalent dollar value as a tax deduction, right? However, there's nothing wrong with using the points you accumulated on your business card for personal travel. So those travel points you rack up on your business cards, use them for personal trips where you don't care if it's deductible or not, right? Well, personal trips are not deductible, right? But pay for your business trips on the card itself so you get a deduction, right? All right, folks, that is what you need to know about credit card rewards and taxes. If you haven't yet seen my video on the best credit cards for this year, be sure to check out that video on the next screen. And if you haven't yet seen my video where I walk through and review the popular TurboTax tax software for this year, be sure to check that out on the next screen as well. I will see you over there in those videos. Bye-bye.